Christ Jesus, I have gotten you through the gospel.
Here's Johnny. Thank you. Well, how are you all doing, my social media family? Being as you are among yourselves, any subscribers and our visitors alike, who are any person among the same selves, who are, is, or be affiliated or associated with and are representing my own particular YouTube social media channel. Likewise, you can as well all the same chat room and comment section. Well, hopefully you all are at least okay, if not better yet, to be said, stay corrected. All right. And are feeling like so, as well as doing, like, as I had mentioned, or said, stated for the record. Or if not best of all, whereas you and your persons can or could possibly claim, you and yours, your family, friends, and me and mine, to be or to have become of a status where you feel blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, too blessed to probably become or be stressed. You and yours, and me and mine. And sorry about, yes, I apologize for I myself looking like I'm fading into the background like there's no difference. Whereas you get to thinking if I weren't to show you that there is a difference or contrast between me and the background, doesn't seem like I'm just a big old blob. I'm like saying, wow, it's like a head is on the wall, the background, you see everybody, hands and so forth, etc. And I also have a trigger happy itchy 911 emergency tail called dialing finger if and when I were to have to make contact with, as in alert the local police authorities that there is trouble in paradise, as they say, or to put it mildly. But then, unfortunately, speaking upon that last mention, being of which will complement the name title, likewise, as well as be the content, the present social media broadcast of the video, so far as concerning this one particular neighbor from damn hell among my present public nuisance of problem neighbors, and as he himself is the main one, who resides just a couple few apartment doors down from me upon the same floor level plan in the building here at this given address location, where as I myself am unfortunately presently a resident or tenant thereof, and it being as it is within a really bad neighborhood, as I have had to move here, unfortunately, just to keep from becoming the rank and file of the derelict transients, as in aka homeless persons, after I had another kind. Well, I think I'll get the general idea what I'm trying to say. After I had another, another, run in, with the likes of his kind, of a conflict of interest that it caused me to have to move here upon short notice after he himself had pulled the wool over the eyes of the management of administrative real estate representative personnel, flipping the script and have them give me the walking paper that he should have received. And in a vicinity area neighborhood community, being one of the better ones, or one of the preferred ones to be possibly considered compared to where I'm at now. one that is, so far as compared to this one being poverty stricken and crime ridden, whereas the other one that I moved from to get here is one of those that is less poverty stricken and crime ridden. And moving right along. And now that I got the preliminaries out of the way, then let's just dive into it, or cannonball, as they say. But then don't go to bed with a price on your head, as they say. All the same. Anyway, though, I myself was supposed to be going to pay a visit to my only living flesh and blood brother for that some such given moment in time, as he had called me to let me know. Well, he should have just called me, with a direct little actual telephone call than to just have sent me a text message. And I'm like, what's up with that? And I'm kind of wondering if there's, some kind of, I don't know, devilment or demonic activities being gone about on his part, for that matter, in the works. Not to mention of this one neighbor from damn hell that had decided that he wanted to start stuff up with me again, being of the main one of a local vicinity area neighborhood community, poot-butt, pissant, creepy cowley, faggotty, drug pusher of a non-white black male, individual person of character, as I was saying, in more words or less, or as I had mentioned earlier, And as I was looking forward to all that, I was just wanting to call it a night. But before you know it, my own and only living flesh and blood brother had from there, had texted me for that or some or such given moment of time. Instead of just calling me, why couldn't he just call me? Let me know he was in the hospital. I'm not going to give the specific details as to what he had become subject to experiencing, because that's, classified, if you know what I mean. Read between I feel classified. Personal family business matters. But anyway, here it is that as I'm stepping out of the building, this one, I wanted to say dickhead prick, willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling, goddamn brain dead, brainless nigger or nigger SOB bastard cocksucker of a possible and potential closet faggot shithead piece of shit motherfucker of a nigger or nigger neighbor from damn hell. Lord forgive me for using your name in vain. If I have, as I think I did, or even so, forgive me for the use of this profanity or for having used cuss words and simply say otherwise. But anyway, though, here it is. Let me rephrase that. This non-white black male character, my main neighbor from down here, the one that has been threatening me for the longest, threatening my life, from stalking me into the business office of management, real estate administrator, representative personnel, whereas all I'm going in there to do is to try to transact the necessary business at hand, so that I won't be out in the streets as one who is of the rank and file of the homeless, by filling out and signing, that an apartment rental lease agreement once again, or to renew it, and whereas he had followed me in there and then attempted to make like he himself is the prey and I'm the predator or parasite. Predator, parasite, or whatever I said. And was telling them he's making me feel uncomfortable. Ain't that a blip? I want to say ain't that a bitch, but I have to try to ask God in prayer to help me make amens. Pray for my enemies, though I don't feel like the super Christian at the moment. And if this neighbor from down here being the main one expecting me to, as if he's, entitled for me to come off like one if I don't feel like it, well, he himself is sadly mistaken, regardless of whether or not he himself could be extended that courtesy, regardless of whether or not he himself is entitled to it. But then getting back to some such as the backtrack here with real purpose being once I go into problems to continue from when my person had last left off, so I can finish up as a complete form period Friday I thought and the same or similar soul sense of the word. And whereas he was saying, oh, he's making me feel uncomfortable, and whereas that was just one episode, to add insult to injury for what he himself has already put me through, to him doing some such other of a tip to make my life a living downhill as usual, whereas he had darn near, to put it like that, then to say damn near, he darn near rode his bicycle or bike to simply say into my person, whereas he himself was a couple few inches away from my physical body, whereas he himself did not bother to say excuse me. So they told me right then and there that he himself being one and the same had done or did that on purpose, and whereas I'm having to call the police upon him for that hate crime in his own right of a civil and human rights violation offense, by dialing the emergency number 911, to how at one time or another, he is like telling me, if you call the police on me again, we're going to have problems. So I did. To at one time or another, he himself is once again riding on a bicycle bike, and I'm trying to take a detour, and he's still coming close, invade my privacy, practically not possible altogether. Then he positions himself in front of me, and he gets to saying, I got something for you. So I'm like, well, let me get on my cell phone and let my police friends know that you have something for me. Then he rode off. To at one time or another, he's running down the sidewalk at some such given moment in time, with one hand in his coat or jacket pocket or whatever I said, depending on what season of a calendar year it was, or regardless of whether it was for the winter or summer. And he's coming behind me, and I'm witnessing all this. Whereas I was about to become part of ridership of a mass transit public transportation system for the train station right across the street from the building. But from there, I have had to change my mind and catch a bus route instead. But then from there, I had to call the police on him for that particular hate crime of a civil and human rights violation offense, as he was coming behind me like he's going to put my lights out or snuff my life from me, to how at one time or another, he's like standing in the front entranceway of the building, front entrance and exit of the building at some such given moment in time, while I'm coming back from the hospital, and he's on a phone like he's talking to some homies as well. He could have some homies already there of accomplices in crime. So I decided, no, I'm not going to enter the building via this way. I'm just going to try to diffuse the situation by trying to enter into the building via one or two back doors to it. And so that's what I did. I turned around and walked back the other way. And here it is, whereas I barely made it into my apartment and closed and locked my apartment door, whereas he himself had to run from the front of the building to the back. That's the only way to explain how, whereas I barely got into my apartment, closed and locked my apartment door, and he's like right outside my apartment door within that same first minute that I had gotten in. And whereas he would go in and out of one or two back doors more than the other one, mainly or mostly one next to my apartment door, regardless of the lock mechanism being jammed and needs repairs, whereas he would prop something in between the door and the border to make sure he could come and go as easily as he pleases, as he would think to do with the other back door that needs not in repairs, then because there's nothing wrong with its lock mechanism. And whereas he's standing outside my apartment door, cussing and swearing, misbehaving like he himself is practically, if not possibly, on the verge of kicking my apartment door in a physical way, and whereas I barely managed to get off an emergency telephone call to the police, regardless of my cell phone dying out, and at the same time recharging. And so here it is. He started something up with me just tonight, whereas I'm trying to pay a visit to this one brother that's in the hospital, my one and only you know, last living flesh and blood brother, you know, and I had encountered this one particular main neighbor from down here of a local vicinity neighborhood community, poot-butt, piss and social reject, loser of a drug pusher, threatening my life again. Whereas he's supposed to be coming out of his ride, motor vehicle, automobile, or whatever I said, and then he sees me, and then he says, "Hold up there, you know, like hold on, you know, wait right there, I got something for you." You know, I wasn't sticking around to find out. He goes back into his automobile and then comes down. I'm down the sidewalk. I'm making it toward the train station and then something. You know, I'm like the nerve of him. So I had to call the police on him for that. You know, tonight. You know, imagine that the last few days and nights before this old calendar year was to go out and before the new calendar year were to come in, and he still, you know, I want to say he still keeping up this here, you know, what you call, he's still attempting to start shit with me, keeping up this shit with me. Let me phrase that: sugar honey iced tea, this lousy sugar honey iced tea that I can care less about, you know, receiving hostilities or hatred or animosities coming from him, jealousies, you know. So that's what I had to share with you all. Yeah, and then on this last note into this, before I was to conclude by sharing with you all the gospel message of salvation, even if I have to force myself to share it with you if it don't come naturally for me to do just that. You know, when the police come out, and compared to other times, there's sometimes they be like, you know, assuming that I'm just as much of a problem as this one main neighbor from down hell, you know. And whereas at one time or another, he makes a request for paperwork, documents coming from them, like I'm a problem with. If anything, I should be getting something such against him after he threatened my life. And they go and give it to him. Well, this one police officer in particular. And then I'm like saying, what's that you give to him? I'm like saying, you know, I have the right to know. And this one police officer, this one dickhead prick white boy cop, he's talking about, no, you don't. You know, like, yes, I do. You know, eventually it's going to come out anyway. If him and I were to go to court, you know, I'm going to find out about it anyway. So you might as well tell me now and then for me to find out later. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, are you fucking kidding me? You know, yeah, he's explaining to the police officer, he's making me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, to add insult to injury. So he goes back into his apartment with, you know, the police, you know, with half of the police force that showed up, and, you know, so I won't hear what he has to say about me, you know, and try to make it seem like I'm the bad guy and he's the good guy. You know, he always put on an act when the police show up to do just that, you know, like he did and stalk me in the business management office or the real estate administrative representative personnel, you know, attempt to flip the script and make it seem like he's a good guy now and I'm one of the bad boys, you know. So that's all I have to share with you all at the moment. But then on this last note of interest, I say, if you have not gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins. But recognize and realize what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary and Hill of Golgotha. Suffering at the hands of Roman soldiers upon the orders of their superiors, religious, political, militaristic, etc., especially of the likes of the religious Pharisees and Sadducees. But then nevertheless, he went to that cross of Calvary to become the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. Don't steal my trademark physical gesture. I'm going to have copyrighted sometime unless I want to risk it being plagiarized. Whereas if anyone else, regardless of race, walk of life, gender, age, and etc., would profess some such faith in them, and that would become and be blessed in one regard or another, more ways more. First and foremost, with this salvation being, which is only means by which any of us can or could possibly acquire citizenship for the kingdom of heaven, and as it is the only fire insurance against the lake of fire, damn hell. And then second of all, what is delivering. But first, you have got to get his salvation. Otherwise, you have got nothing coming. And whereas if you make that transition for the great beyond the hereafter, the afterlife, then your final destination will become just that. You know, whereas you will burn forever and be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demons, all the while you're there. The time without end compared to how we as believers in God be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell, and be in the company of like-minded believers, and be in the presence of God and his angels, and even so be blessed down here upon the planet Earth for that some of such given moment in time, you know, and hopefully become a blessing on others by sharing with them the gospel message of salvation and deliverance. Then, nevertheless, we have to pray for our enemies. I really don't want to have anything to do with this one neighbor from down here at the moment. I mean, he has traumatized as well as terrorized me for the longest, and then to add insult to injury, I suspect that worse yet, he himself has been trespassing my premises of property, of place of residence, you know, for this building as its location, being for my own apartment, where it would be bad enough if he were to have done that, you know, while I'm gone from the building, trying to take care of some personal business matters for my own personal survival, than to think that he could have trespassed my premises, private place of residence while I'm here trying to get my rest whenever I can get some of such, you know, after he would have caused me to have irregular sleeping patterns and a number of other things. And I suspect that he himself is, you know, the very reason for my most recent general physical health issues, or the very main reason for my most recent battles with general physical health issues is what I meant to say. Prince of Peace, continue to regulate my mind, compare to our Prince of Darkness, to conclude my speech. You know, at one time or another, he was, you know, wishing or hoping or whatever I had said to establish rapport with me after he has made my life a living downhill for the longest, you know, and hoping to start anew. And I'm like saying, I'm not having it because I'm not feeling super Christian at the moment, you know, regardless of whether or not I have or had become a super Christian in time past. I'm not feeling this here at the moment, you know. I just want you to stay away from me and quit talking to me, you know. Go on about your business. Get your business. Go suck a dick, a prick, a cock, or penis or something. You know, leave me the hell alone. Excuse my language, partner, friend. Sorry about that. You know, that's like as if a male rapist who is in the females, you know, born and raised females, women and girls, you know, would want to try to think to establish rapport with one's former ex-female sexual assault victim, female rape victim, for a normal social environment or relationship. But you know that's not happening, not in a million years. Not in this world, maybe in the Twilight Zone. Then because the average female sexual assault victim, the average female rape victim, you know, if she had the man, the means, and the chance to do so, she would she would much rather instead put a bullet through the head of her former or ex-male attacker that had sexually assaulted or raped her, you know, unless she herself were to play the part of a super Christian and say, all is forgiven, and practically or possibly start treating him like he himself is a brother, you know. And I don't feel super Christian at the moment, you know. Especially when I'm having a bad nightmare, bad dream, a bad nightmare. What other kind of nightmares are there? Especially when I'm having a bad dream or a nightmare. See, I can't even get my words together like I want to. Prince of Peace, continue regulating my mind because I out of Prince of Peace. Just complete my speech. Especially when I'm having a bad dream or nightmare that he's supposed to be buck riding me, you know, sexually assaulting, raping me, doggy style. Yeah, like I said, like I had my suspicion that he could possibly be, not just practically, but possibly could be the main reason why I'm dealing with my most recent battles of general physical health issues. Hey, you all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed. Peace and love, joy, happiness, and we out. Peace.